Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vol. And in this video we're having a look at how we can make pipes and handles using the updated ND add-on. So ND is a free add-on and it has recently had a very nice update. If you just go to Edit and Preferences, go to Get Extensions and type in ND. And here you'll have an install button. If you've already installed it, then you'll have an update button here. And make sure you click that because we want to be in version 2.1 or above to get these tools. Finally, there's one more thing that you need to do, which you don't need to do for other add-ons, and that is because of the way ND now works with a lot of its functions coming off of assets. So if you go to your N panel here, you go to Huge Menace, and you will have this install the ND asset library. Now you're going to click install and then that will be done. And in theory, you only have to do that once. But if you don't have your preferences set to have autosave on, so I don't have autosave preferences on because I tinker for when I'm making videos, you're going to need to click save preferences so that that's there. If you do have autosave preferences on, you won't need to do that. You just need to click it once and then these extensions will always be there. Okay, and with that now done, we can just get rid of that M panel, drag up from the bottom corner, and now if we go to our asset browser here, you won't have as many options as I probably do, but because we've done this, you will have ND. And this gives us a load of different functions. It also gives us some nice primitive shapes. Let's say we need something like a cross. I could drag that in there, and let's just S and scale that up, and we've got a cross. Cool. So nice and easy if we want to bring in extra objects, but a lot of these are functions. And if you want me to talk more about some of these, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section and we can go through some more of these in detail. But this pipe one here, along with another one, is really useful. So let's just drag this down and we're going to create a profile or at least a path for our pipe. So I'm just going to Shift A, Mesh, and we'll bring in a single vert. Let's go into vertex mode and then we'll E, and then what are we going in the X direction? Somewhere there. E and then Y, E and then X, and then E and then Y, and we'll go to here. Okay, not really symmetrical. We'll go with something like that. That will do for now. So this is going to be our pipe. In actual fact, just for something I want to show later, let's Control Shift and B to do a bevel there, because it's a vert, not an edge. And we've got this nice 45-degree shape as well. Okay, so this will be our pipe. Maybe we can make those a little bit longer. There we go. So let's just Shift and D and Z to bring this up. And here we'll use general Blender tools to turn this into a pipe. But first, let's just see how easy this is to do with ND. So drag this up. We want to turn this into a pipe. There we go, ND pipe, done. I can change my diameter. I can change my resolution to make it more or less. Let's put this to, I don't know, 64, something like that. So it's nice and rounded. And we've got our pipe. Great. But there is an issue with pipes. And that is that when we have a 90-degree angle here, they get a bit contracted. So what we want to do is actually have this bit more rounded. Well, again, we've got our solution here with ND. We've got our path smooth. Let's just drag that onto this. Oops, we should be this way up. And here we've got that with a slight issue because it's in the wrong order. Let's just drag this up above. And we can do our corner segments being higher and then just give a bit of a radius. And there we go. As soon as we do this, it's sorted. But I want this to be a bit more rounded. Let's just down our diameter a bit and then up the number of corner segments. So you can see how great this is. It's totally non-destructive. We can keep fiddling around with it as much as we want. Whereas if we were to do this in standard Blender without ND, well, we need to first convert this to a curve. So right click, convert to a curve. Then we need to come down to our curve object data properties, come down to geometry, come down to bevel, up our depth of our bevel up our resolution to get this rounded. What did I put this on? 64, something like that, and get this wider. We've got exactly the same issue here, but now I can't actually change the rounding on this corner. Well, I can, but I need to use a paid add-on called Curve Machine, which allows me to bevel that. But if I don't have that and I want to spend money on it, then I'm going to have to go all the way back to the point where we're a mesh. We can go into vertex mode, select there, and then Control Shift and B to round those off. Okay, cool, we've got them rounded. Then we're going to have to do it all again. So we're going to turn it into a curve, come back down here, add our depth, there we go, and add our resolution. But still, as opposed to this one where I can just go, oh, actually, I don't want this being as rounded as that. Let's make that a little bit smaller. I can't do that here. It's destructive. Once it's done, it's done. So I can't tinker and tweak. There's another really big problem with this. Let's just isolate those two, which is if I want to 3D print this, for this, I can just come down here and go fill caps, and we've got the end being filled. Now I can do the same with this one. Once again, in Object Data Properties, I can click Fill Caps. But if I want to start 3D printing this, let's just convert this back to a mesh so we can see this. These vertices that we've added in aren't actually connected. If I press G, you can see there's a gap between them. They're just on top of each other, so I need to start merging by distance and things like this. Whereas this one, if I just actually apply all these, though we wouldn't really need to in reality, we just know that it's correct, but we're showing what this can do. Go into vertex mode, these are actually connected. So this is a perfectly usable 3D printable shape. Let's just go back to the point where we haven't applied that. So just once you get to this point, this is a vast improvement. I think I actually want this a little bit more rounded. But the other thing we can do is we can start adding endpoints to this. So basically have some sort of connector points at the end. To do that, we just go to fitting type and I can go simple. There we go. That looks way better. Now, the important thing here is, again, this is completely 3D printable. The fill caps extends to this new object if I click it on. So this is 3D printable as long as that's there. And I can change between that or this stepped one or this flanged one there, which is quite nice if I wanted this to be, I don't know, let's say a handle. We can also set up custom ones of these. Let's just turn that to none. So once we've done that, let's just bring in a cylinder. We'll start with this. I'm going to up this to, let's say, 64 verts. I'll talk about a problem later with this. And the radius, importantly, has to be half of whatever you use as a unit. So I'm going to just type in 0.5. That means that the total diameter of this is 1. Let's just move this off to the side. In fact, let's, for the sake of demonstration purposes, I'm going to make this a bit wider. There we go. Just so that we can have some problems to talk about. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to come to the bottom and I'm going to delete out this face so that we don't have that there. That's going to be our connector point at the end of this, or where it's going to connect onto. Then I'm going to, I don't know, just do whatever I want to do. So let's go something like that. Let's go into face mode, there, there, and there. Let's E to extrude them, and then S and Shift and Z will make something like this. Okay, so that's going to be our connector. So over here we come. We come to our custom fitting at the bottom, click that on, decide that I want to use this fitting, and it looks ridiculous and tiny, so that's not going to help. But we can scale this, so I can scale my fitting to be whatever I need it to be. Or, importantly, let's just down this diameter a bit, we can just click this unit size. And as soon as we click unit size, what this has done, which is really nice, is as long as this hole was 1, that's why I set it up at the beginning, it works out how to size this correctly. And whenever I change the diameter of my pipe, it's going to work with it to create it to the same size. Really, really nice. Now, if I do want everything to be wider, so let's just go into vertex mode A, and then, oh no, edge mode, and then unselect that. That's S and Shift and Z. You can see that this is affecting the one over here, S, Shift and Z. Oops, I need to unselect the vertices that are here. There we go. So S, Shift and Z. So you can see that because this middle point is staying 1, it's not having a negative effect on this. So we can change this as much as we want after the fact. Brilliant. But importantly, as I change my pipe, this also changes the diameter of it so it constantly matches. Now there is one limitation in this doing it ourselves, which is very important for us to understand. And that is that at the moment I've got the resolution of my pipe to 64. Let's put this down to, I don't know, 40, something like that. And then if we come here and turn on our wireframe, you'll notice that these points don't match up. So we've got a slight issue there in that we're going to need to turn this to whatever this resolution is. So let's say 64, and suddenly this will work fine. So we just need to bear that in mind. Now, if we don't use the custom fitting, we use one of the ones that was already here, like this flanged one, If I change the resolution, it changes it on both. So we don't have that as an issue. Also, you can see here that we've got our fill cap. This also is extending through to work with that point. So that's just something to bear in mind. We kind of need to know that that exists. So that's the basics of our pipe tool, but also using our path smooth to make this a really nice, truly non-destructive pipe that we can just modify as much as we want later. Now, I did have something come up the other day where I was showing this to someone. They asked, well, what if we wanted different bevels on the different curves? Well, that is actually doable. I've actually set this up here. So for example, at this point, I can have these corner radiuses being quite big and then the one here being much smaller. So you can set this up so that they are different, but it just requires a little bit more tweaking, which is a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to show you that in the next video so it's easier for people to search for. But if you want to see that and you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you know when that video is out. So I hope to see you in that next video and have a great day.